Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a question that's gone from pure science fiction to a very real, very expensive possibility. How much would you pay to go to the moon? Think about it for a second. That silvery orb in the night sky, a place only 12 humans have ever walked on. What would that experience be worth to you? $1 million? 10 million? Your entire life savings? It's a fascinating thought experiment, isn't it? For decades, the only ticket to the moon was a government-issued one, reserved for a handful of elite astronauts. The cost was astronomical, buried within the budgets of national space programs like NASA's Apollo program. In today's money, the Apollo program cost over $280 billion. If you divide that by the 12 astronauts who walked on the moon, you get a staggering figure of over $23 billion per person. Of course, that's not really a fair calculation, as the program achieved so much more, but it gives you a sense of the immense scale of the investment. But now, the game is changing. We're entering a new era of space travel, often called new space, driven by private companies. Names like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic are no longer just concepts. They are actively sending people to space. While most of these flights are currently suborbital, just a quick hop to the edge of space and back, the moon is firmly in their sights. So, let's talk numbers. What's the current price tag for a trip to space? These are just appetizers though. The main course is orbital flight, and beyond that, the moon. SpaceX has already flown private citizens on orbital missions with its Inspiration 4 and Axiom missions. The cost for a seat on one of these flights aboard a Crew Dragon capsule is estimated to be around $55 million. We're already in a different league here, moving from the price of a luxury house to the price of a private jet. But we want to go to the moon, and that's where things get really interesting. In 2018, Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa made headlines when he purchased every seat on a future SpaceX Starship flight for a private mission around the moon. The mission, called Der Moon, was planned to take Maezawa and 8 artists on a week-long lunar flyby. While the exact price he paid is confidential, it's widely speculated to be in the hundreds of millions, if not more. Sadly, that project was recently cancelled, but it showed us the ambition and the price point for the first private lunar tourism. So, a lunar flyby might cost you $100 million or more. But what about landing? What about putting your own footprints in the lunar dust next to Neil Armstrong's? This is the ultimate prize. Currently, no company offers a direct-to-consumer lunar landing package. It's just too complex and expensive for now. However, we can look at what governments are paying. NASA awarded SpaceX a contract worth $2.9 billion to develop a lunar lander version of its Starship to carry Artemis astronauts to the moon's surface. That's for the development and the first landing. Subsequent missions will likely cost less per seat, but it's still going to be a monumental expense. Some experts estimate that when private lunar landings become a reality, the initial ticket price could be anywhere from $100 million to $500 million per person. It sounds insane, but think about the first transatlantic flights or the first climbs of Mount Everest. They were incredibly dangerous and expensive, reserved for the wealthiest adventurers. Over time, technology improves, competition increases, and costs come down. The key to making lunar travel more affordable, and I use that term very loosely, is reusability. This is SpaceX's entire business model. Traditional rockets were used once and then discarded, which is like throwing away the airplane after every single flight. SpaceX's Falcon 9 and the future Starship are designed to be fully and rapidly reusable. The more you can reuse the hardware, the more you can bring down the cost per launch. If a Starship can fly 100 times with minimal refurbishment, the cost per seat plummets. So, will a trip to the moon ever be as cheap as a first-class plane ticket? Probably not in our lifetimes. But could it eventually drop from 100 million to, say, 10 million? Or even $1 million? It's entirely possible. As the infrastructure is built, launch pads, reusable rockets, maybe even a lunar base, the price will inevitably fall. This raises some fascinating ethical questions. Should space, and specifically the moon, only be accessible to the ultra-wealthy? For a long time, it was the domain of nations, representing all of humanity. Now, it's becoming a playground for billionaires. On the other hand, the investment and innovation driven by these private companies are pushing the boundaries of what is possible for everyone. The technology developed for a billionaire's lunar vacation could be the same technology that helps us build a permanent, scientific outpost on the moon, or even helps us become a multiplanetary species. It's a classic technology adoption curve. The first cell phones were bricks that cost thousands of dollars. The first computers filled entire rooms. Now, we have devices in our pockets that are 1,000,000 times more powerful. The same will likely happen with space travel. The first wave will be the super rich, but they are paving the way, funding the research and development that will eventually open the doors for scientists, engineers, and maybe, just maybe, one day, everyday people. So, let's go back to our original question. Knowing all this, what's your number? If you won the lottery tomorrow, a massive one, would a ticket to the moon be on your shopping list? For some, the risk is too high, the money could be better spent elsewhere. For others, the chance to see the Earth rise with their own eyes, to experience that profound overview effect that astronauts describe, would be priceless. It's an experience that fundamentally changes your perspective on our planet and our place in the universe. Personally, I think the sheer wonder of it, the historical significance, would be hard to resist. It's not just a trip. It's a chance to touch history and step into the future. The price is just a temporary barrier that technology and time will eventually wear down. What do you guys think? Drop your price in the comments below. What would you be willing to pay, and what would you want to do on the moon? Just bounce around, or would you want to help build a new settlement? Let's have a conversation. Thanks so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this journey into the future of space travel, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into science and technology. We'll see you in the next one.